What is up, guys? It is Will here, back again with another amazing panel. And you can see, not just do we have amazing a panel, we have a rooted hair panel, which is even more important. A rooted hair panel. Hot Toys going rooted hair. You know what? Fuck it. We're going rooted hair too. We're going rooted hair too, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone full. Keco might have the highest quality rooted hair, so he's probably the biggest NRD of the three of us. But between all three of us, I still think we look pretty good. Guys, let's introduce this amazing panel, and then, of course, we'll get to our chat and our wonderful topics. Mr. Keco Collects, I'm pretty sure you have Amy's wig on. Can you confirm nor deny this accusation?
Well, let's confirm once again, this is not Amy's wig. Like she's not bald and wears like wigs every day. So but she does have a drawer or like tub full of costume wigs for makeup and costumes and shows and things like that. So of course, Will, I said, you know what? We really need to up the ante on this live stream. We need to be the premier 6-scale premium collector stream out there. And I was like, what do we got to do? And I said, you know what? Rooted hair is a really big topic. And I'm guaranteeing you, I guarantee you actually that this is going to play out perfectly for when we start talking about this today. So yeah, I went ahead and grabbed this wig. You found yours, and obviously got Josh down here. Go ahead and introduce yourself as well. But yeah, I'm excited to have this on, and this should be a fun one today.
Well, this was Kiko's idea, by the way. And I honestly, when he said it, I was like, that's actually perfection. And I messaged Josh. I was like, Josh, are you in, bro? And he was like, I got a wig, and I'm in.
I've got a few wigs.
Yes,
and the fact is that we all readily have wigs available is very concerning. Or maybe it's genius.
True.
I mean, how in the world in like less than 12 hours did we all get these beautiful wigs ready to go?
Well, this is my Hot Toys Anakin cosplay, so I think I look pretty good.
I mean, look at how it flows, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean,
Josh's flow is really nice,
bro.
I mean, all three of us look pretty fire.
I actually like it. Hold on.
Feel kind of powerful, Josh, dude. Thanks so much for joining, man. This is your first one, I think, on an actual panel. We interviewed before, but everyone's on a panel, bro. So thank you for joining. How you doing this fine Friday?
Dude, good. As you can see, I'm in an empty room. Just like, oh, and I'm wearing pants, so like that could have been really bad. Right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we all held our breath.
Underwear underneath their like business attire. Yeah.
Spoken like a true business owner, right there.
Yeah, dude. So in the new house, this is the first time I'm actually on a stream in the new house, which is awesome. I also am completely unprepared. Besides the wig, totally on point.
At least priorities got situated.
Yeah, the priorities
are on point. So it's all good.
That wig is pretty. Josh, is that your girlfriend's wig or is that your wig?
It's a Doja Cat wig from Spirit Halloween.
Look at me.
From last year. And my girlfriend's probably gonna come in like the house and she's gonna see this and she's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Materia's onto something. Wig great.
What live stream are y'all on?
What is this? Some kind of role-playing live stream you guys are on? Yeah, maybe.
See, if this was TikTok, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on, we could be saying, all right, guys, make sure to hit that LINK and all that stuff. I'm gonna be going live there soon.
What do you mean? Is that what they say? LINK?
Yeah, all those soliciting people on TikTok that want you to go to certain web pages, they always say, make sure to check the LINK in my bio because they can't say that word. Otherwise they get banned because that link goes to their OnlyFans. And so that's what they do.
Very sneaky, bro. Very sneaky.
See, I need the 1,000 followers. For those people that don't know out there, I wanted to go on Instagram Live. I'm sorry, on TikTok Live myself, and because my wife said, "Hey, that's how you really build a big audience." And I'm just like, "Okay, cool." And so I go to try that, and they're like, "You need 1,000 followers, bitch." I'm like, "Well, I don't have 1,000 followers." So I'm like, "All right." I'm making my plea out there. So all you people, I know you have TikTok. Just go ahead and look up Keco Collects on the old TikTok. Follow it so I can go live and I can show off the collection, do other type of engaging things. So that's my plea for today. There you go.
I need to add in the add TikTok part because that's going to be really important to add to the scroll. Yeah, see, there we go. Keco Collects.
Do you have an OnlyFans as well that we could like plug?
I mean, no, I do not. Unfortunately,
I mean, he probably does. He's just not.
Now's the time.
Yeah, he's
make sure to kick the LINK.
Guys, this has gone way out of control. I love it. Okay. So guys, let's address the chat real quick before we jump into our first topic. And of course, our first topic is going to be related to something with these wigs, and then we will take them off because they are pretty warm. So, but I'm glad that we're able to do a whole segment like this.
Cardigan. It's like 100 degrees in Georgia, 100% humidity.
Dude, isn't Georgia where they shoot all the movies? Like, it's like really hot.
Oh, I live across the street from the studio.
See? There you go, bro. You're gonna see all the wild shit. You're gonna see all the wild shit before we do. Tragedy Tales, let's go. Connor is here. Good for health. Hey, yo, Keith Lee, Mark Attack, he, she, we, big boobs. Good to see you, bro. Emmanuel. Yeah, what a name. Emmanuel Paradise, good afternoon. Emmanuel, good to see you, bro. Nothing to say from Hot Toys, the Sideshow Tour. What a shame. I know. They showed everything. They played all of their cards earlier. Tyria and Safe Fuller here. Sam Logan, what is up, Sam Logan? Bruce Leon. Oh my God. Anakin, Superman, and Spider-Man all walk into a bar, and the tender, aka Mr. Fox, says to the freshly rooted Anakin, why are you always surrounding yourself with those who take the high ground? Bruce Leon always, bro. He's making me really work. It's the ow now brown cow of live streaming here with Bruce Leon. He's really testing my ability to read off a prompter. FPJ, what's up? What's up? Nico GSC, good to see you, bro. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday to you as well. Nick Collectible said, what the fuck did I walk into? Something beautiful. That's all. Something beautiful. Sean Breeze. What's up, Sean Breeze? The man with the smooth voice. Gaki's Toy Box. Good to see you. Let's see. FBJ. Is Will cosplaying as Kara Anakin? Yeah, pretty much. We'll talk about. Mark Attack. Will has more wigs than, I guess, everyone. I guess you just left the sentence incomplete because it's pretty much everyone. Lex, Mark Attack. Lex, he said. The movie canon. Hey, everyone. So I guess the rude hair on this panel making up for the lack of Anakin announcement. Yes. Tyria did agree with Josh. Wig greater than furniture. It's true. It's true. Josh is renovating. So Kevin Borg, good to see you, bro. Let's see. Treasure Tales, Destin Boy, Connor, we talked about. Good for health. Keith Lee. I think that's mostly everyone. Kevin.
I do agree that wig is like perfect with the shirt. like that was the first thing that took me.
It's almost like it was coordinated. Yeah.
You could have an LINK with that setup. I mean,
coming soon, everybody. If I get to 1,000 followers,
LINK. Guys, let's waste no more time here. Let's not bury the lead. We need to talk about something pretty important. Hot Toys has announced. I'm not sure if Josh has even seen this, but he's seen my hair, so he knows. He has a general idea of what it looks like because this hair is pretty much what it's going to look like out of the box for you. So the Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker rooted hair. Supposedly a premium line of Star Wars legends, as they describe it. So really excited to hear everyone's thoughts on this. Keco, I'll start with you before I get to Josh, because I'm really interested to hear what you're going to say with beautiful. I mean, as an expert in beautiful hair, because you're literally showing your LINK and your beautiful hair on screen, you can pretty much speak to the fact of whether Hot Toys can pull this off officially, because we saw this photo, and I'll pull up the other photo that Sideshow showed. That one wasn't as good in person, but the promo photo looks pretty good. Keco, fill us in on your thoughts, bro, on this Anakin.
So I guess the new thing they're calling this is Hot Toys Backstage. Is that what it's called, essentially? Is that their new branding for this, quote, premiere line? I'm not 100% sure. I just know that all those little photos have Backstage in the top corner. Is that like the Blitzway black label or anything like that? But either way,
I think you're onto something. Yeah,
I probably am onto something. But here is what everyone melted down about, because they're like, oh man, we're getting our new Anakin. I told you we were holding out for hope. I know I told you the 2.0 was going. So glad I didn't get on the secondary market. Yeah, this is great in theory. But you know what? This was taken by a professional photo, and this is what is out of the box. Now, Will, I feel like I am the resident skeptic when it comes to rooted hair, mainly because, obviously, but rooted hair is something that's very challenging, because unless you have real hair attached to your real body, even then, it's very hard to style and get right. We're all wearing this for a reason, and obviously it's all to poke fun at this very topic, all right? But this is the issue when it comes to these, is that the highest quality premium figure of all time, the Dark Knight Joker from InArt, my God, have you seen the rooted 2-pack? Yes, I own them, and I've never been more disappointed. Now, if that is the standard by which we are all holding all your 6-scale premium format stuff to, I'm very suspect, because now we don't know what those behind the door numbers are of how many Jokers were ordered. And everyone's like, well, if you have, that many, they're going to have some QC issues. I'm sorry, Keco, that you didn't have the greatest experience. They're supposed to be the premium top of the line. Now, if the premium top of the line can't deliver, what makes you think the mass-produced factory is going to be able to deliver? Now, Sideshow is notorious for putting out very shoddy display pieces, whether it be hardly posed, very odd. Going back to this photo, this is professionally lit, professionally styled, professionally photographed. This is not what is coming out of the box. Now, prove me wrong, okay? Because I was trying to give the Wonder Woman 100, the benefit of the doubt, saying, it looks pretty good in those promo photos. But what did we say when it eventually came out and they put it on display? Whoa, what the fuck is that? Because it was not exciting. It was very windblown, if you want to call it that. And then so fast forward to Hot Toys putting theirs on at Sideshow, and you get that whatever that is. Now everyone's like, that's that. I'm not denying the sculpt's incredible. I think it's a huge, huge upgrade. But I will be extremely disappointed if there is not a sculpted hair version. So you have to ask the question, does premium format mean that it has to be rooted? You can't do rooted hair for every figure, okay? That just doesn't make sense. Maybe if they have longer hair, like in some of the female characters, things like that, maybe, but we've been down this road before. I'm really, if they're talking about the premium legends of the Star Wars, which ones are you going to do that have long enough hair? Chewbacca, that's one big piece of hair. Are you going to do Anakin? Obviously, they did that one. You have some Leia options, which have had some very suspect sculpts. You got some Padme options, but what legends are you going to be able to put on there that has dynamic hair that would make it premium? But if they do a black label premium thing, there's got to be some sculpted options, right? Because I don't think premium means hair. It just doesn't to me. I feel like you can have a high-end collectible without it having rooted wooled hair or something like that. And I know I talked a lot, but I'm very hesitant that they can pull this off.
Yeah, I have a lot of skepticism about this too, Keco. But Josh, I want to jump to you, bro, before I jump in on this one. As a retailer and a collector, someone who's lived in both worlds, what do you think, I mean, about this Hot Toys quote unquote premium line here with this rooted hair? I mean, what are your overall thoughts on it?
So, before we get started, I try to be as unbiased as possible. If people have seen me on other shows, I'm a retailer, but it doesn't help me to push a product that's going to get canceled when it arrives. So, so I'm always honest. It doesn't help. I think it's sick. I'm sorry, but I also thought the InArt Joker was sick. And you know how I am, like, I was upset that the InArt wasn't actually licensed. I felt there were some, you know, shortcuts taken to try to push it out, and everyone lost their shit. But I personally think it's sick, but I think just rooted hair doesn't do it for me. Cause like I also collect statues. Like for me, and it's all up to opinion, right? So like I fucking love multimedia statues. There are some people that hate any statue with clothing on it, and that's fine. But look, if it's just rooted hair, I do actually like, even in this photo, because I've been through the setup, they don't set them up super professionally because there's so much going on in such a short amount of time. These aren't necessarily fans setting up these figures. These are employees setting up the figure with a instruction like this needs to look like this, right? And the problem is when you mess with it, there's a risk of damaging it. If you damage the prototype while trying to set it up, you're fucked. You're fucked. So there isn't a lot of messing. I can see why they didn't mess a lot with the hair. Like you're not going to oil this. You're not going to style this if you're an employee with a sample that needs to go back to the factory. I wouldn't touch that shit. I mean, I wouldn't even pose it personally. But like, I think it's sick. But like, there has to be more if there's going to be a price tag. If it's same price, perfect. I think it's great. But it's not going to be.
I'm also super suspect of, go back to that last photo, like if they're going to put that same shitty ass cape out, that's the same cape. I'm really believing that it's literally a new head sculpt on the old body. I really think that.
I wonder if it's real leather, Keco, instead of pleather.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that terrible, look at that hood. That hood's terrible.
That hood looks pretty consistent to the other ones. Yeah, but I'm wondering if since it's premium, they say real leather and rooted hair. Like that's their version of InArt, basically.
Well, we don't even know if that's going to be the only version, right? So like here's how I see it. They're announcing a new line. And you mentioned Black Label, which I thought was interesting with Blitzway, because remember, Black Label is its own company. It's not a fun line they announced. Prime One first had Black Label or was working with Black Label. And the stuff they tried to push was way too expensive for what it is. Like just like I thought the half-scale Black Label Dante was fantastic. What was it? Death Stranding was Black Label. Fantastic pieces, but nobody wants to spend. I think Dante was 4K, right?
Damn. 4K?
It's Dante, and there's multiple games. You can't have one version of Dante. The Devil May Cry 5 was not the end all be all. Like, you cannot expect collectors to jump in on that. So I actually think it was really smart of Blitzway to take the black label and go into quarter scale, because now you're looking at budget J&D style.
Right.
But I mean, in 6 scale figures, you're talking about posable figures. You can't start putting like super fragile silicone sculpts all over the body. You're going to have damage. So, but at the same time, you know, sales are down right now. The pendulum swung, the market's crashed. It really did. And now vendors or manufacturers have to come up with a really amazing way to come back on top. So if you're not going to be selling a bunch of figures day one, you need to come out with quality at high cost. So this might be their answer to it. I'm hoping there's more to it. That being said, I still think it looks, even in this photo, I think it looks incredible. I really do.
Well, Josh, what do you think about, do you think this will be exclusive? Do you think it'll be limited to set number of pieces? You think it's a wide release?
They're going to want to push as many as possible.
Okay.
And as much as Sideshow is an exclusive retailer, they still benefit from working with their other vendors, because it's less risk distributing the numbers. Basically, they're going to get whatever numbers they want, but it's less risky to bring in other vendors. They may not offer it to every vendor, but like the ones that pull numbers consistently, you have to remember, the more that are made, the cheaper it is to manufacture in bulk production, right? So if they do make it a deluxe, they absolutely can, but they're probably going to lose money the first release if they do that. Usually when a vendor, like perfect example, 3-0's Griffith Deluxe, right? Did you hear about that?
No, what happened with that?
So they released 200 of Griffith from Berserk as a figure, a 6-scale figure in a deluxe version. And then there's an unlimited regular. They only made 200 deluxe, and it's slightly more expensive. They're not profiting off that deluxe. You're making 200 of them. So they could have made as many as they wanted, and they chose not to profit crazy on it. Now, that might be a collector thing. You know, that might just be like, you know what, we want to give these to collectors. It's going to cost too much to make the base. This would be friggin' awesome to just make 200 for people. But we all know that figure's also going to be worth $100 minimum plus, well, probably 500 plus on the market where they could have capitalized. So it really depends on the morals. Knowing the morals of Hot Toys and Sideshow, as much as I love both of them, they're going to go for the money.
Okay. But Josh, but I think, yeah, you definitely recognize the fact that dead stock is definitely not a good thing, right? So are they going to try to find a happy medium somewhere in between where they're not overproducing like crazy, but also maybe not super exclusive?
So
is that
I'll tell you where we're at right now. Cause I mean, there were clips. I'm going to toot my own horn and be cocky here. I called all this shit in July last year. If anyone remembers like watching those streams, and everyone's like, fuck you. You're just trying to push inventory. No, I'm not. Cause everything's waitlisted. Because it doesn't help me to get dead stock. So right now we are back to the days of production is based on whatever's ordered in the first 2 weeks. And that is fact. You'll see that on every website. And if you're not seeing it on every website, it's because either they're pretending they're going to get like waitlist stock or they're going to buy it from somewhere else. But like, I am not getting extras after 2 to 3 weeks on release. Like, and you've seen it. If you've looked through the Hot Toys, for example, they're gone. I am not getting extra pieces to have dead stock for people who miss the boat. Let them miss the boat. Let them pay an extra $200. It's not worth it. I think it's going to be, I would say this will be a 3 to 4 week pre-order window, and then it's done.
Wow. Okay.
Done.
But can they actually do this and make it look great? Because this is even a better picture than
I
the one.
like it.
You know,
Bro, I like it. It just needs a little styling.
Do you have that picture of the photo that someone sent where it looks like it's all crazy looking? Because
I don't know if I could find that.
Like, you look at and this is a prototype. Remember that. So the boxing's not always as good. Like when you look at custom 6-scale heads that people buy, they're like specially cradled and packaged, right? And you still have to style them. In a mass production, that's not hard to replicate. In a prototype, to be frank, because I've received prototypes, most companies don't actually protect it all that well. They kind of don't give a shit. I've had prototypes come in that were snapped in half. It's just like in a head sculpt rolling around. That's the weird thing. They don't give a shit, but that's also like their sample. But it's typically rushed out and they need to get it in, and they're going to have plenty, so they don't care. Like showing this off at San Diego Comic-Con or Sideshow or wherever it's being shown off is not going to change the number ordered. It's just not.
Because I'm wondering, because Keco and I, Josh, our concern, I think, would be the amount of style. Like, because I'm with you guys. I think the head sculpt looks incredible. But when I'm talking about the hair to me looks a little suspect. But I think it needs some styling. I think it's
going to need styling. It's like,
but that should not be my job to have to. Everyone's like, well, if you're going to be
collecting,
I understand that. No, but no. It is not fun for me if I put something on a shelf that looks like dog shit. Because
you're wearing a human wig.
Yeah, for fun, but
it's beautiful hair though.
It is embarrassing to me when I say, hey, check out my InArt Joker, and it's like, oh sweet, what's going on with his hair? I don't know, I paid $1,200 for it. It's the best I got.
This was after the truck scene when he was like shooting the rocket.
Well, I don't know. Keco's has an afro. It's pretty
mine looks like Anakin's wig right now, and I'm like, that is not cool, because yes, I could take scissors to it, I could put product in it, whatever, but that is not something I'm comfortable with doing. I'm not comfortable with doing that, and I shounn't have to.
But that's what I was saying though. So like knowing Hot Toy, fucking shit. knowing Hot Toys and just knowing, a retailer in general, they're going to save money. And again, this is me from the complete business aspect thinking of it.
Yeah.
The Luffy is life size, by the way. I saw that question in the chat. It's fucking life size, and I just got it, and it's the best piece ever.
Nice.
It will be cheaper for them to properly protect that head sculpt, but at the same time, I think the other side of it is they're going to attach it to the body like their normal Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Because you don't want people fucking around with trying to peg it in, because they will break it. And believe it or not, the customer service at Sideshow is so good, and I'm Comic Concepts, and I'm telling you, Sideshow also has great customer service. They're going to replace or do whatever they have to do with anything damaged, even if you fucked it up. There's no way for them to prove that. So they will save more money by properly packaging this and actually styling it before shipping out. And if it is fucked up, it's likely been through hell in shipping, but they will actually save money having it out of the box perfectly fine. And that's what I would be thinking as a manufacturer.
I'm wondering too, Josh, if Hot Toys is willing or capable to do that, because maybe this is a different type of rooted hair, but every other rooted hair they've done, I feel like out of the box, it just looks not great.
Yeah, whether it be Black Widow, whether it be Wanda, whether it be
even
any
Gamora.
Other, even Gamora. If you got that nasty tape on it, and you have to pull it out and it goes through that little, maybe they'll figure out some new innovative ways to properly put it in. Who knows? Maybe it's like
I think they will, because we haven't been in a market like this before where vendors and manufacturers have to figure out new ways to get people back into collecting. I mean, and again, I might be totally wrong. But if I am a seller, and if I were a manufacturer, I would totally find a way to make sure this looks good, because you now have another competitor, InArt. Even though they're not licensed, they know what they're doing and they're able to get it out all over the world. You turn a blind eye to whoever's selling it. So they now have a titan to actually worry about. It's true, but it's still a threat, and it would be in their best interest to get their shit together and start caring again, because that's the reality of the situation. They didn't have to care before.
I love what you just said a minute ago.
Box and get it out.
I love what you said a minute ago when you said that they're trying to get collectors back. Someone in the chat said, Ruben says, why don't Keco just collect statues? No, because I want an articulated figure. That's the whole point. I want a figure, but I should not have to worry about how that figure looks outside of the box. I think that is a general understanding. If you want a collector to embrace and buy your product, they should have the confidence knowing that when it comes out, minimal things, sure,
or minimal futzing,
lift up the collar, pull the sleeve down, that's fine, but I should not have to take a fucking wet paintbrush to my Joker's hair to get it to look like the way it's supposed to. That's ridiculous.
This could not even be a pagan head sculpt. This could be a magnetic head sculpt with rotating neck, and that would be the smart way to do it too, because you don't have to mess with it. You can cradle it nicely in a spot in the box. And I know the Hot Toys boxes, there's room to do that. There is a pocket somewhere for a head sculpt that you can totally do that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come in properly, because there would be so many returns on people damaging their own figures trying to mess with the hair. And they're not dumb. There's no way they're not thinking of that.
Right. And this is a proto, and it might even be rushed out there. So, but you also made a good point, Josh, with the packaging. So if this is Hot Toys premium label, you may even see a more premium packaging than even the DX figures. You may even see something that's like super secure and something where they do. But I'm just praying to God that they style this hair thoroughly before, short of Keco, most people's InArt Jokers were styled effectively when they got in hand. So you had to do minimal to no futzing with hair. Keco just got unlucky and his is fucked. But basically the rest of us, like, Mine looks great, and I've had to do like almost no futzing to the hair whatsoever. I'm hoping this Anakin Hot Toys can figure that out and do that. Put product in it, do whatever you got to do to make it look right. And then, like you said, Josh, package it well so then people don't try to comb the hair or cut it and then return it. You know. And
it depends what they price. If they're charged $500, you better damn well bet they're going to package it differently.
Right. I think they might charge $450 for this. Yeah, I think.
But is it just rooted hair? Like, is it leather? Is it?
I think it might be leather, but they haven't said. So if it's not leather and it's just rooted hair, then maybe not $450. Maybe it's $400. Is the
sculpt silicone? Because like it looks incredible.
So. Yeah, because I think I remember. I don't know who was talking about it. Maybe someone like J&D or someone put out. They said in this scale, silicone would be really tough to maintain. Like it would be.
But like, yeah, I mean, this looks fine. I don't think it's even going to be that much. I could see like $350, so? And that also depends on the accessories that comes with it.
Yeah, it's true. But you think, Josh, you think pre-order windows are going to be a thing for this type of label for Hot Toys, like a month or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever?
When it would come out?
Yeah, no, I mean like how long the pre-order window?
Announced windows, or
sure.
just like them
2 to 4 weeks. Like I'm just telling you where we're at right now. Like every figure you see release, that's it. It's 2 to 4 weeks. I am almost sold out of every figure I have put out in the past year before it's even released. Again, I'll repeat it for all you collectors. I don't want your fucking dead stock. I don't want you canceling. I don't want to get hit with another $100,000 of dead stock for no reason. And that's anybody. There's no point. And there is not a lot of money to make in Hot Toys, believe it or not. Yeah, I mean, everyone's value of a dollar depends, but from a business standpoint, they're easy to sell. They're easy to get damaged. They're easy to have replacements, but they're catastrophic in mass cancellation.
Yeah.
Catastrophic. So it's not worth the risk. So as a retailer, and as any retailer is doing, you even see it on Sideshow, there is absolutely no reason to mass order. We close orders and that's it. They order, there's a wait list. If we have any cancellations, there's someone waiting in line. Boom. It's free money.
Is that what Sideshow is going to keep doing, you think, or start?
Everybody. And
everyone.
I genuinely think that's what collecting should be to begin with.
Okay. Where is the announcement?
Of a limited collectible.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to say, where is the announcement then, just to say, hey, this will be a 30-day pre-order window? What is so hard about that? Why is that so hard? But why is that such a challenge?
Because what if it's not? I mean, there's liability. You don't want liability attached to you if you don't have to.
Right. So you're saying, what if they change their mind, basically?
Yeah, you either have a limited collectible and people go nuts and you'll keep it open as long as there's demand. And then when it's done, it was limited. So we warned you. And then it creates hype for the next order. Right. So
I get, so it's like kind of like wanting your cake a little bit, but it does also give them flexibility. It does, like they make it as limited as it needs to be, essentially.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
Like once the orders trickle off, that's it. And there's always going to be people who come in late. So it's perfect.
Right. That's interesting though that they would do that. Yeah. Cause I mean, I know Sideshow can't be thrilled. They just gave away Captain Marvel, literally. Like you would buy a $260 figure and they literally gave you Captain Marvel for free. That's how bad it is.
Well, those windows have always actually been in place. They've just not been enforced. Does that make sense? So like during COVID, and I don't know everyone's behind the scenes deals. I just know what I've witnessed. You know, you could order this shit forever. People just were burning money every day with stimulus checks.
Right.
You know, like it was just like, I can afford it, so why the hell not? I had a tingle. I saw it and I tingled a little. There you go. Purchase $500.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for your thoughts on this Anakin Skywalker rooted hair. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, we got a poll running, so let us know. But yeah, I'm interested to hear, and I'm gonna take this wig off because
pioneer.
This thing, Josh already beat his Keco. That's Keco's real hair. So when he took his wig off, it was just that hair, actually. So
no,
that's a high quality wig there, Keco.
Oh, that's what you look like.
Dude, Keco, you got to put the logo in the front, dude, on the hat. There we go. Yeah,
just
Kevin.
to answer Conquer, Comic Concepts won't carry InArt, unfortunately, until it's licensed for North America.
Right.
We've talked to InArt and Queen Studios about their product, and it's just, oh well.
Right. Well, because I mean, your hands are kind of tied. I doubt Sideshow.
Yeah, I can't force it. I've asked. Actually, I think Sideshow will probably eventually distribute it. And,
that's what I think too.
Or us. I mean, again, there have been talks, but I can't guarantee anything, and nothing's finite. So it's whatever. And you know, Comic Concepts. For a lot of you who don't know me, it was supposed to be a hobby. So like, I have other things. Like I do full-time anesthesia. So like, I don't know if I want that responsibility to distribute. So, like, I don't know if I want to take that risk. So
hey, that would be pretty cool.
I'd love to sell it, but
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
It's up to them.
Anyway, guys, let's jump along here to the next topic, and it's actually Sideshow Con 2023. What are your takeaways? Because I don't know, Josh, if you even got to see most of Sideshow Con, but
I didn't at all.
Yeah, we could kind of fill you in a little bit on kind of what went down. But Keco, I want to ask you, bro, what are your takeaways from Sideshow Con? This is clearly Sideshow's attempt to save money, like Josh was saying, and not do San Diego Comic-Con, which a lot of companies did. Not even just retailers, but like Marvel and fucking all these other companies, like that didn't even go. They were just like, nah, we're not going this year. We're busy, right? So that's pretty much what happened. And all these companies really just decided to, a lot of them do their own thing, including Sideshow. So Keco, I want to ask you the question. What's your takeaway from Sideshow Con? Was there anything super exciting, super interesting? Would you want to see more of it? Do you have any feedback for them? What's just your general overall thoughts on
it? I mean, I don't have much to say because, I mean, look at that picture. Can you be more bored in a picture? And could there be less going on than in that picture? Now, I said on somebody else's stream on Sunday, I said, look, here's what you need to expect. There'll probably be one holy shit moment. That probably is the rooted hair Anakin or whatever you want to call that thing. And then everything else is going to be mid. And then everything else underneath that, depending on how you rank those mid pieces, is going to really, really suck. And what blows my mind is that every single time, whenever something is revealed, and I understand if you're new to this hobby and things like that, if you see a reveal, that does not mean it's being released or even announced. It's not an announcement. It is literally like this is the science project fair, okay? Where they're like, hey, let's put all of our stuff up there. Let's show all the work you put out. And it's literally, I mean, the dewback is an older piece. Maybe this is a modified version of the old Sideshow one, maybe. But that Death Star Trooper, with that has been shown for 15 years. That has been around. Same thing with like, oh, look at all these wonderful DC vehicles that have never been made. The Batwing and these different Batmobiles. Yeah, no shit. They're never going to be made. We talked about this picture a while back. Go back to that stupid pram thing. That's another piece that's another piece that's not going to be made. That is a literal piece that someone put together for this show. And I wish people just knew that whenever you see this doesn't mean it's going up for pre-order. It's not. It's a showcase. That's what it is. You show some things that you made. That's about all there is. Now, the only thing I think that they did well, and then by the way, the MODOK. I don't know if MODOK is on there anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I can find MODOK.
Everyone's saying, oh, man, you can make this, but you don't make X, Y, and Z. No, they are not making this. This is literally same with this. This is like, hey, man, do you have that one third-party throne? Hey, let me borrow your Avengers Endgame thing. Hey, did you get President Loki in? Hey, yeah, let me borrow the head coat. Oh, we're going to get these people fucked up. And they literally just put that head on here, threw it on there. That's a third-party 3D printed throne, most likely. And then it's Avengers Endgame Loki. And then it's the President head sculpt. I just put this on my Instagram.
It is.
Recreated the whole thing. I was like, wow, I got a sneak access to San Diego Comic-Con, blah, blah, blah. But it's literally a showcase. That's all it is. And I wish people could temper their expectations. I mean,
that looks insane.
I love how it looks better than the actual film.
It does, bro.
That's what looks crazy. It's better than the actual film.
I hate it and love it.
I know. I feel so conflicted about it.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I feel it's horrifying,
that is
really.
Atrocious in the greatest way. I don't even know. I love that.
Can you think of a more show-stopping piece, though?
Yes, I can. And
what?
But all that to say, and I'll wrap up and hand the mic back. I apologize for just rambling here.
Nah,
But
dude, I love
the
this.
best thing that they did, honestly, and maybe I'm just talking out my ass because I got what I wanted, is the way they handled the queue for the exclusive things. This was unexpected on Monday when you logged in. And keep in mind, when they said they're going to have these exclusive Spider-Man figures next week, they told you when it was going live. It wasn't mysterious. It wasn't any shock. They said 9 Pacific time. It's going to go live. So me being the guy I am who just says, okay, let's go take a look. Logged in around 8:50 Pacific time and says, hey, you are in the queue. You will be randomly assigned a spot to get in. I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm at the real convention. This is fun. You know, I'm waiting in line. So then it goes live. It opens up and says, there's 3,417 people in front of you. I'm like, oh, wow. It says wait time 43 minutes. I was like, oh, damn. I guess a lot of people are here. 3 minutes later, I'm in the queue, through the queue. I have made my purchase for both of these figures on Friday and Monday. So if you wanted these, you could have got them. It's not a secret of I can't believe it. These timed exclusive. Fuck you, Sideshow. I can't believe it. Why would you make these figures so exclusive? They told you when it was going, and they were live for like 15, 20 minutes. If you really wanted it, you could have got it. Now, I will say, once again, and maybe this is another topic, Will, and I'm jumping the gun on this, but don't tell me that you needed this figure, didn't know when it was coming, and then you couldn't actually take a piss break or something during your lunch or whatever it may be. And you say, I can't get away from work. Take a pee or something and go and do this, because I was in and out in 5 minutes, honestly. And I was done. And then I was sitting there watching everybody else saying, I can't believe I didn't get it. That's my takeaways from Sideshow. So go for it.
Dude, that was an epic rant right there. I absolutely love that. That should probably be its own clip. We will talk more about the Peter Parker thing, so save some of those thoughts, Keco, for sure. Someone said MODOK looks like Will. What the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on,
we need
now.
to put a circlet on. We gotta see. We gotta test
I know,
it.
right? I know. This is crazy. But Josh, dude, even though you didn't really watch Sideshow Con, it sounds like, as a retailer, what are your thoughts here? What Sideshow is attempting to do here? Because clearly, it doesn't sound like they're planning on going back to SDCC. What do you think?
So, I mean, let me ask you this first. You know, viewers too. Like, have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? Have you ever been lucky?
I have not. I was going to go this year, but then I canceled because, for one, everyone, my housing fell through, and also everyone canceled, like Sideshow, everyone, Marvel, everyone.
Right. So I think it's so okay. Let me rewind. My experience with Sideshow at San Diego Comic-Con, like, will always be there in my memory. I remember I saw one statue when I didn't have money for years, and I saw it at Sideshow at San Diego Comic-Con. It was Deathwing, World of Warcraft Deathwing by Sideshow Collectibles. And that was probably one of the most memorable experiences in my entire collecting. And I got the piece, which is amazing. But like, I thought it was the coolest booth at all of San Diego Comic-Con. All of it. But you know, it's 2023. We just went, and I hate to talk about COVID. I'm sorry. But it really did change how things operate. And all of marketing, it's so much easier to reach a larger audience online than paying $100,000 plus for a booth for the same attendees to see you again and just have a couple stars be like, look, it's Sideshow. It's just like, I think Sideshow is big enough, and they've earned this, truly, that they don't need San Diego Comic-Con anymore. I think it, after like 5 years ago, it more was about tradition, and it's not really necessary. And you know what? Yeah, it's not as exciting online, but if you added a crowd to the background of this, everyone would also be like, whoa, look how amazing this is. It's just the people being present that makes it look exciting. These figures are just, it's a display. I mean, you're showing off what you have in a small room they set up. And I think it's going to get the point across regardless, because you're going to see the figure go up for pre-order or statue. You're going to see the promo pictures, and you're going to order it or not. I actually, and sadly, say that I don't think going to a show is even necessary. The only reason I go to conventions is because I really love meeting like collectors and hyping people. And in the area that I'm at, I'm in Georgia, no one knows this shit exists. So every time I go to a convention, do you know how cool it is to blow people's minds and show them these sculptures that they didn't even know were in existence? But with San Diego Comic-Con, it's just like, it's the same audience. It's the same audience, and the people running this booth, the CEO used to go every year, as well as the VP of wholesale, by the way. Like, they do give a shit. But I'm sure after 20 years, the same reaction kind of gets old. And then you're hemorrhaging money from COVID. And again, I know if I'm experiencing this, the larger retailers are hemorrhaging. There was such mass cancellation in the past 9 months. We've lost retailers that you guys don't even realize. They're gone. Like, go look for some of your retailers that you used to find like secret deals on. They're gone. People are going out of business. So we're in the era right now of pinching pennies. There's no reason to go to San Diego Comic-Con any longer, sadly, because it was a really cool experience. But from a business that's this big, they don't need this anymore.
So now they're actually going on a cruise now for 225. Do you see that?
What?
They're actually moving San Diego Comic-Con to a cruise in 2025.
Yep.
That's not real.
Yeah, it is, dude. Kiko's going to go, but I was like, do you really want to do that? I was like, that sounds... Royal
Caribbean is hosting
amazing
it.
And like,
I know. I'm considering
amazing and terrible.
Yeah, that could be like a Netflix documentary at some point, bro. That could turn really...
They better have really good security, like, before you get on that boat.
I know, bro. I know, man.
Oh, no.
Dude, 100%. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed Sideshow Con for what it was. I thought it was interesting. They did some giveaways. They did some fun sales. The sales were pretty cool from what I saw. I mean, it's the same stuff that they're just trying to get rid of. But, you know, for the people who were looking at those things anyway, you got Captain Marvel for free, maybe. So maybe that's pretty cool, because then collectors can buy the figure they want, turn around and sell Captain Marvel, and then you're going to see probably a ton of Captain Marvels listed all over Facebook. You're going to see
they're already listed for $125.
Yeah, $100,
wow.
$125. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yep, exactly. So you're going to be able to get that Captain Marvel.
I should do my own sale.
Dude, you should, honestly. Well,
I want to, but every time we do it, we're working on finishing up the site a bit better.
Yeah.
But like, every time we have a sale that's just fantastic, most of the people abuse it by trying to place it on pre-orders and thinking they'll get away with it. And they're just like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, like, you mean the coupon code that said in stock, now shipping only? And then this is it?
I just realized I have a $50 card for Comic Concepts that I won from a Reddit photo contest.
Holy shit, I remember you.
Yeah, I still haven't used that.
Small fucking world, right?
The Venom picture.
You didn't use it.
I haven't used it yet. No.
Kiko's going to use it, though. He's going to use it soon.
I forgot, man.
I didn't.
In stock only there, Kiko. Josh, can you use that on a pre-order, or does it have to be
anything you want?
Nice.
Yeah, always.
See, there we go.
We'll have more stuff. I'm just, like I said, I'm getting back into reality. This move has been and renovation's been insane, on top of real life, of course.
Well, at least you got a fucking life-size one.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's so positive and happy. I love One Piece.
Josh, I gotta ask both you guys here. We're gonna move on to our next topic, because Hot Toys has announced some new licenses, and I want to bring this up and talk about this with you guys. Josh can definitely speak to some of these a little more than I can probably, but Keco, I am gonna start with you on this one. We got League of Legends, we got One Piece, we got Prey. Prey, I'm super excited about. That's the one that I'm super into. I cannot wait for a Predator from Prey. I love that look. I love that helmet. It's just badass. It's incredible. So, Keco, I have to ask you the question. I'm going to share a picture of some of these licenses. Hot Toys clearly is going after some new markets here, not with Prey, but with the other two. But, Keco, what are your overall thoughts on these new license announcements?
People have been clamoring for Prey and more Predator stuff for a long time. And I think Prey was probably one of those movies that really took off, that no one expected it to be as good, because whenever you take a legendary franchise, it usually turns out pretty shitty if you try to reboot anything. But Prey was unexpected and is going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to see how that turns out. Now, I'm going to show a little bit of my bad side here. I've never even heard of One Piece. I thought that I've never heard of this, have no idea what we're looking at. League of Legends, I thought we were talking about Raid Shadow Legends. Never seen that either. So I have no idea what those two IPs are. I'm excited for those that apparently are excited, but you want to talk about some limited runs. This, and also add the Cayman or Common Riders or whatever thing like that. Here we go. This doesn't do anything for me, mainly because I have no knowledge of it whatsoever. So revoke my nerd card, whatever you want to call it, but never have seen or heard of these in my entire life.
Well, Keco, what do you think about the idea that they're doing this clearly to bring in new audiences into Hot
Well, this is what
Toys?
we talked about when we said, okay, with the writer's strike and potential new movies being stalled out, they're going to have other IPs, because if
Yeah.
there's no movies coming, you go to this well, because that's obviously something that
That's
you
a
can
really
go
good
to.
point.
So
That's a really good
it
point.
may
Actually,
be
I didn't think about
calculated.
that. Yeah, and maybe Hot Toys knew maybe this was coming, or maybe they were following the developments of this, and they're like, we got to keep producing shit, and we can find a way to bring in new collectors while also not producing the shit that everyone's on strike about. But Josh, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I know you're big into anime. You know, League of Legends is a big video game across the world that a lot of collectors might be looking for high-end merchandise for Hot Toys. What do you think about these licenses?
So, Prey, awesome. I
Yeah.
think collectors have been dying for affordable like figures in this line. Like the
Yeah.
only thing that's been available of like, you know, Predator or any of that. If I hope I'm on the right subject here.
Yeah,
I don't
you are.
actually know the title Prey. So it is Predator, yeah?
Yeah, it's Predator. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
it's
the
the
one that was on
Hulu
Hulu.
original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
With the
would
little
assume,
girl.
but I want to make sure I don't just like completely.
No, you're good. It
ruin
got
the
nominated
hype
for a
here.
bunch of Emmys too, because it was a TV movie.
I haven't seen
technically.
it, dude.
It's so
like
good,
I
dude.
said, I'm an anime head, but like I think there hasn't been affordable, you know, anything of that license in a long time. Like the only thing is Prime One, and what is that? 3,000 to 5,500. So these figures always looked sick. It's just sick, and there's so much you can do with them. And on top of that, I know people, anytime a Predator figure came out, they bought multiple because they wanted to copy different scenes. There's different accessories you can use. It'll be sick. Moving on to One Piece. Fuck One Piece. Like, goddamn. I love One Piece. I've followed it since I was a kid, and I think the actors are wonderful. I'm not shitting on the actors. I'm shitting on the fact that you cannot take anime, which is especially One Piece, which is famous for its over-the-top animated-looking characters, ridiculous voices, and ridiculous abilities, and then put a bunch of live-action people and think you like fans are not gonna cringe when this guy has an accent and stretches out, and the effect looks like something you made in your basement. And I mean, like Buggy the Clown, who's like supposed to be a comedic, like ridiculous looking character, looks like a fucking serial killer, and just like all this other shit. It's just, I don't feel that you should ever make an anime and that's not even talking about the anatomy. Have you ever looked at characters?
This sounds as mid as Invincible.
What? It's worse. No, it's far worse. So
Invincible's good, dude.
like you look at the villains in One Piece and they look ridiculous. That's the whole point. And most of the characters, there's no way this is gonna work. And the section of One Piece they're doing for the show is like 120 episodes in the anime. How the fuck are you gonna get all that storyline in? Yeah, dude, like look at these characters. You can't make this live action.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on.
You do raise valid concerns.
I mean, they did do the
Look at that.
Spider-Verse figures. They did do the End of the Spider-Verse figures.
That area, though, like these three characters are supposed to make appearances in this show, and they're probably not going to, because how the fuck are you going to take that octopus-looking fuck and put him in live action? But unfortunately, he was actually like a really important character. So it's just, I'm not down. If they make figures, great. If the show's great for you guys, awesome. I'm not fucking down. So,
dude, what if it's great though, Josh? What if it's great and
then I'll be so happy because I'll be wrong and I'll be able to enjoy something that I love for my show. There's a life-size Luffy behind me, and I'm saying this. And I'm sorry, but like everyone's like, oh, the creator Oda, he's been so close to the project. He's been working really hard on it. He's been close with the actors. The dude is still writing his own manga and drawing that and trying to finish the story while working on his extremely successful show that doesn't take breaks.
When did we start talking about George R. R. Martin?
About the live action?
It's basically like, George R. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I feel you, bro.
Dude.
I feel
dude,
you.
This is how I get sometimes with my beloved IPs. So
it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And I have statues of almost all these characters. Like,
yeah,
I am not excited for the figures. I think it's a bust. I think they're betting on it being good, and it's just not. And that's not.
Is
to
it
say that the
potentially
acting
just
might not
another
be amazing.
tease, though? Is it another tease like the Shazam tease?
It's not a
you know?
fucking tease.
No,
it's
I think
Netflix.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it, but they also teased Harry Potter and haven't shown anything yet. So maybe just take some time.
Well, the licensing is now being released. You look at like Sume and Iron Studios, you're starting to see more of it.
Right.
And finally, League of Legends. This one won't be as long. I think League of Legends is fucking awesome because you look at the statues that have been coming out and they all look amazing. I don't actually know League of Legends all that well, and I hope I'm right about this. When I see League of Legends as a license, my thought process immediately goes to the show Arcane. And I don't know League of Legends, but I can tell you the show Arcane was one of the most amazing animated shows I've ever seen in my life. And it won tons of awards. Like, if you have not seen Arcane, it doesn't matter if you know or don't know League of Legends, and it doesn't matter if you like animation or not. Go watch Arcane. I have not met one person who has not liked it. And it is incredible. Animation and story. And you don't need to know anything about League of Legends. If they make Arcane figures, this will probably be, I don't want to say bigger than Star Wars, but like, dude.
What if these are all cost babies, though?
Dude, could you imagine? Well, someone asked
cost babies, I'll fucking quit.
Well, Charlie the Unicorn asked, he said, could it be a line of statues? Maybe Hot Toys are going to throw us a curveball. They don't do those, but maybe they will for something like this. I don't know.
Look, if it is Arcane, I will collect Hot Toys. I have, I think, I have 3 Hot Toys. I have the Iron Man and the Giant Donut. I have Deadpool in his own diorama, and I have Jack Sparrow.
Nice choice.
And I have the DeLorean, and that doesn't, whatever.
That counts.
If they have Arcane, that would be incredible. But even as like collectors, there's so many characters in League of Legends that people like. What I think they're gonna do, they're gonna have a bunch of the more popular characters used in League of Legends, and they're gonna be really low numbers made. And I think it's going to be a really sweet spot, like even on the video game aspect. It's going to be hugely successful, I feel.
I wonder, Josh, maybe and Keco too, why they wouldn't go after like something more that I would like Last of Us or God of War or something like that. Like, is there just not a market
really
for that?
Expensive.
Is
or
it?
Maybe they've never delved in the video game.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they've done video game lines though.
Right, Spider-Man, but
I mean, Spider-Man and Star Wars now,
they already
and
own
the Batman Arkham Knights.
Yeah, it's all DC.
Those are
Marvel,
licenses they already have. These are brand new. They have to go after and pay for. Remember that.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if like Naughty Dog or Santa Monica would be expensive. I'm wondering, but
it probably is, but they also would be done such justice and they do so well.
Right.
They would do so well.
I think they would too. Well, guys, thank you for your thoughts on that one. I'm excited to see this. Hey, we're able to bring new collectors into the fold with, League of Legends or Prey or any of this stuff. I think it'll be great. Prey, though, I'm with you guys. I'm going to be definitely interested. I think it's called the Feral Predator. I'm not sure, but I'm really interested. Josh, you have to watch that film, bro, and let me know what you think. But dude, it's that Predator for sure is going to sell for Comic Concepts, no doubt, bro. That Predator is, people really want that one and want a ton of Emmys. Like, no one expected that film to be good. It just popped up out of nowhere, and everyone was like, "This is actually."
So it's out already. Like, it wasn't. Yeah. It was a film or a show.
It was a film, but I think it was on Hulu, but it originally was a Fox film, and then Disney bought Fox, and then suddenly like Disney took it over and then released it, and they just put it on streaming. And like everyone was like, it was just actually like really good, and no one expected it to be good. Like it was one of those sort of but yeah, man, it's Predator. I'm saving space for that Predator. I definitely want it. So
it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick, dude.
I keep laughing at the rooted cause babies comment. I'd fucking get myself.
Dude, that could be the premium line. Well, we got to ask the question, guys. There are a couple more things. We'll probably several that we have time to get to, but I want to ask. Let's see here. It was this. Because Keco was bringing this up anyway earlier, right? The Spider-Man, and Josh, I know, can speak to this a lot too. It was actually the Advanced Suit Spider-Man that is from the new PS5 game that was exclusive. Hot Toys, I think, announced 3,000 of these. Sideshow had, I think, 2,000. Is that right, Key? Or 1,000? They had 1,000, right?
I think there was 500 of Miles, 1,000 of Spider-Man.
1,000 Peter. Right. And you got this, Keco, because I logged on just trying to see what the experience was like. I was not going to buy it, but I tried to add it to my cart, and it said someone has this in their cart, and like 2 minutes later it was waitlisted.
Yep.
But I logged on pretty late. So Keco, you said the experience was actually pretty simple if you logged on at the time you wanted it. So the experience was good, but do you think this is good for the industry of collecting and for Hot Toys and collectors as a whole?
I think it really does narrow down how serious you are about collecting. Now, I'm gonna sound extremely gatekeepery and very elitish, but I take it serious. If there's a figure or there's something I really want, I go after that and I find ways to make it happen. I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that say they're huge fans of something but don't take the initiative to go and get it. I pride myself on being a hustler, on working hard, and that's just who I am as, just professionally as well. Work hard, play hard, that type of thing, and reap the rewards of doing so. It's the same thing applies to collecting. Is if you really want something, you figure out the ways to do it. There were no obstacles if you were serious about these figures in order to get them. Same thing with of all of the Q figures that we've done these two. We have done they've done the Batman, they've done the Wonder Woman from DC 100, they've done the D100 Iron Man, and they've done Stealth Suit Cap. Those are the only ones I believe that have had numbers attached to them as far as exclusivity and just on those 1 days for wait lists. Of those, I've gotten all the ones I wanted. And the only issue I had was because I messed up on the Wonder Woman one and forgot to click the terms of service. That was on me. But if I would have had it, I would have had it. So no problem there. That's fine. This is good because it forces people to be serious, to be selective, because if you don't, but it also pushes people, as we talked about, it pushes people to say, I want something that someone else doesn't have. And it pushes people to make it sell out to where, as Josh was saying, once the next thing comes, it's like a ripple effect. Oh, I got to make sure I get the next thing. And it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning, because you don't want to be the person that's missed 15 pre-orders because you weren't quick enough or you weren't serious about it. You look how far behind you are now, because everyone always likes to play catch up, blah, 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 blah. I think it's good because we have really gotten to that place where, as you said, Captain Marvel selling for free on Sideshow and $150 on buy, sell, trade. That's got to end. I understand people do not get these things for investments. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. But if you do have any desire that you want to maintain value or anything like that, this is a way to make that go back up, because if there is demand, that's what makes price go up. If there's no demand for anything, then it just sits there. And so I think this is good for the industry. So what's the problem? And I got what I wanted. You could have gotten it too. So that's my thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Keco. And I do think that at the end of the day, there is, I don't know. I mean, I do think, because there's any number of reasons maybe you couldn't have been online. Maybe you were at work, or maybe you had a family issue, or you had a concern or whatever. But I do think that collectors, generally speaking, do find a way. And I do think there is maybe a bit of entitlement from time to time. And that, I think, has led maybe to maybe an overestimation of what the demand actually is based on social media reactions and posts and whatever. Because a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'll get this. And then it drops and they'll say, yeah, I'm going to wait for the next version, or I'll wait, whatever. And finances change, budget changes. I get that. But I think this ultimately is going to be healthy for the industry. If this, for example, like we talked about, if this were Hot Toys Joel and Ellie and it were limited edition, I would have been up super. I would have been waiting there an hour before, right? Like I would have done whatever I had to get it. This Spider-Man I don't really care as much about, but if I did, I would have been there early and got it. But Josh, as someone who works as a retailer, owns a business, has dealt with this dead stock shit that's been going on for a couple of years, what do you think about these exclusive sort of figures that we're seeing from Hot Toys? Is this good for the industry, for the health of the industry?
So it's kind of biased because I'm a retailer and I didn't get stock of these, but right. I want to say that first. But as a collector, I don't think it's that good for the industry at all. I mean, I look in it. I'm not shit. Let me also say that I'm not shitting on the advanced suit. I love the advanced suit figure, but I don't feel there's enough difference. And I almost compare it to Prime One's color variants when they released the same figure you just had. And they're like, oh, color variant. And it's just like, well, fuck. That just killed what I had. And now there's going to be more in just a slightly different color. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe, collecting is subjective. Like my opinion is not law. Like it is not a fact. It's an opinion. But in general, the way I look at this, with my experience on people, how they're making their purchases and just retail consumer behavior in general, I feel that releasing this took away a pre-order from something else that could have happened. And on top of that, all of these are supposed to be limited to begin with. So the mindset of that there's a limited exclusive is just like, well, what the fuck is everything else then? It's just like when you put in exclusive, it just means the distributors are going to have it. it doesn't necessarily mean there aren't a lot. Just because they put 3,000 units on this, you have no goddamn idea what they made of any other figure. Like the lizard diorama base, what if there's only 500?
Right.
That would have sold out if you said it was only 500. It's sold out now anyways.
That's true.
But I feel like it's almost taking advantage of collectors, because I look at this and you take a figures that are normally do not have an edition number and you just say that there's only 3,000 units. 3,000 is a lot of goddamn units for a figure that's already been released. And I'm not shitting on anyone, but I look at this and it's like you just took away from collectors who are saying they're mostly strapped for cash, because just because not every collector can afford every figure. Collectors come in all like sources of income, right? Like there are people working at Walmart, working paycheck to paycheck to make their stuff. And then you have the Playboy billionaire who's like, I also want the figure, right? So when I see something like this, I feel it's just kind of a cash grab and taking advantage of the collector mentality, because all the other figures are also selling out after 2 weeks without the hype. So without the hype, there's probably the same amount selling and people don't even realize that their figure they didn't pre-order is limited.
Right.
Well, I will disagree with you a little bit, because I do appreciate you sharing that side as kind of like a retail side of things. And you make a great point about the people that it forces you to be selective. And if you are not have a lot of open cash to be able to do things with, yeah, you probably are being like, oh, what do I want to put, my efforts and energies into? But on the flip side of that, I've said it multiple times that I'm a proponent of, I am so tired of seeing everybody with the same shit. Everybody, like when you go into like look at my collection room, they are all fucking identical. And it was so silly to me when all the clones started coming out with Rex and Cody and all that. Everyone's like, look at my Rex. Everybody look.
Everyone fucking has one.
Everybody. And even when this officially went for pre-order and people got it, you go to Reddit, it's like there's that meme of that guy looking at the tornado, here it comes, what I'm talking about. But it was like this screen saying your order is confirmed. It's like, here they come, because everyone's like, I got it. But the exclusivity breeds the opportunity for it. Let's say this, we're going to use the Joel and Ellie thing. Let's say that this was a 6-scale Joel from wherever Will wants it, and he was not able to get it. He struck out in the queue. I know that he wants it enough to where that has become now a chase figure. Now, I understand people's budgets and things, but if there is a chase figure for you, like for me, I told you that the Ecto 1 was my chase piece, that I understood it was going to be costly. I understand it wasn't readily available, but you don't see a lot of Ecto 1s floating around because there's not a lot of them. So I was okay with that being a chase piece for saying, you know what? Yeah, I could have got this at retail, but damn it, I am so happy when I finally do get this. So create that within the community, because I don't want to see the cookie cutter collections. So I'm okay with that from that side.
Well, because I think you guys both make really good points, because I think Josh's issue is, it sounds like, is more the fact that they released the same Spider-Man animated exclusive. So, but it is different enough, to be fair. I mean, at least I think
the Waldos,
because I think, I mean, it is the same suit technically, but I think the material is different.
The color is different. It's a darker shade of red. Right,
exactly. And it is technically from a new game, so they can sort of say, oh, it's from Spider-Man 2 instead of Spider-Man 1. It's not a reissue. It's it's a 2.0. But yeah, but I do think the one thing I will say, and I think you guys can both attest to this, what I think this is doing is getting the community actually excited and engaged about something. And I think that's I think the goal. And also I think you would know, Josh, like with all the dead stock and shit, Sideshow and Hot Toys are probably like, let's get people to fucking FOMO. Like we got to get people to feel like they can. This needs to feel more limited, because otherwise people are not going to pre-order on the level we want to do, not going to buy shit. And we need to, I feel like so much oversaturation has got to devalue Hot Toys brand, because basically they're viewed as like Funko Pops, right? And that's not what I think the look they're going for. So I feel like this was inevitability. And I think this is going to keep happening. I think they're going to keep doing this with other figures. Don't you guys think so?
Well, but my biggest issue is not necessarily even that it was an exclusive. It's that you called it an exclusive and you slapped a number on, but you have no idea how rare your current pre-orders are that are waitlisted. You'll never know because you didn't call it an exclusive. So when I see like 3,000 units, I'm just like, well, you're going to receive it and you won't even know if it was actually 3,000 units. These aren't numbered. They're just stating that there's 3,000 units. So it's not necessarily that it's not awesome that there's an exclusive item, and it's not awesome that we're getting collectors hype and you don't want cookie cutter, but you don't actually know how exclusive this actually is, because your other figures from the people that aren't ordering in the time frames, it might be even more exclusive and you won't even know.
Right.
And I just don't like when and of course it's business, but I don't like when the collector mentality is played for a fool almost. You know what I mean? I don't like people getting taken advantage of.
But we're never going to get that veil pulled back.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, because I don't think Hot Toys is going to start numbering everything. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to say like, oh, 10,000 Darth Vaders or whatever, right? I don't know that they're ever going to. I wish they would. I wish they would be more like the statue companies, but I guess it's just not part of their business model. Like,
but is 3,000 limited? Or is it just hype to put a number there?
I think it just depends on the figure. For this one, I wouldn't say it probably feels limited, but I don't know, because it's so hard to gauge what the production is for certain figures.
1,000 within, let's just say, Sideshow US North America country, 1,000 is fairly limited, I feel,
for a Spider-Man,
for a Spider-Man type figure.
Yeah, like for Wenwu was 300 worldwide. That's pretty limited. Yeah.
It's 300 worldwide?
For Wenwu, yeah. For Wenwu.
Oh, that feels way more limited.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. This is 3,000 worldwide. So
of a recolor.
Yeah, it is. It is Spider-Man.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it. It's just, what does the term exclusive do to people when they hear exclusive? That's all.
It gets them to
trying to like pull at.
Yeah. But it is, but I get what you're saying, but it is at the end of the day a result. I do think it got people excited. And I think, I do think Hot Toys, not every figure I want to be that you have to log on that second to pre-order. But like you said, Josh, a pre-order window, I think that could do wonders for this collecting game. Because I mean, I can just tell you, it feels, eventually you will get to the point, I feel like, where yes, these figures are great, but it feels so much more fun when you do have to chase things every so often. Like, it's just
great.
It just like this. I give the example, this Ellie print I got from Cook and Becker. Like, I had to go search.
They didn't contact me. I missed it.
Dude, I had to go searching for that thing. I had to go search.
I signed up. I emailed them. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. And they're like, all right, it released on Facebook. What?
Oh, dude. Are you talking about the Amano one?
The signed one. Yeah. The
Dude,
last of us signed
I got one. I got a hand signed
one. Of
one.
course you did.
Dude,
because it meant everything to him. So
25 worldwide. Exactly, Keco. I was there. 25 worldwide. I was there right second. Yep. So I got one. Dude, it was expensive though. It was expensive.
Becker's wonderful. That's how I got my Persona 5 piece signed by the character designer. They were sold out, and I wrote them. I'm like, please, like, I gotta find this. Do you have any? And they're like, well, we have one by the character designer. He was supposed to take on tour, but COVID happened. I was like, holy shit.
Like, let me buy it. I will pay you anything. Yeah.
I was like, I'll give you anything. Do you take livers? Do you take kidneys?
Kidneys. Dude, Josh, I want to ask you this. So you mentioned the 2 weeks thing, because I feel like on Sideshow, I haven't noticed that to be a reality. Maybe on Comic Concepts or other places. But what about Sideshow? I mean, do you think they're going to start waitlisting after a month or something?
So they're ordering X amount because, like 2 weeks isn't, it feels like a long time, but like when you think about collectors, like in the real world, some people are overseas on business. Some people aren't access to their emails or computers right now. Like you get orders all the time. Like I had someone write me the other day for the Prime One Denji from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And they're like, I had no idea this existed. It's like, well, it's been out for a year and like people are still learning every day. It's not that the deadline isn't there for 2 weeks. It's that they finalize their numbers in 2 weeks. So then there's probably a grace period for those that like missed out or like didn't even know it existed.
Okay.
But like for sure, I can guarantee you there is an extremely limited window for anybody to place their orders with Hot Toys. So if there are extras, it's because they planned for slightly extras for whatever time it takes.
Right. Because you even saw that with Moon Knight. I mean, Moon Knight hit Sideshow in stock for like 3 or 4 days, and now it's waitlisted.
It was waitlisted already. So again, we're in this because remember, Moon Knight came out, a year and a half ago for pre-order?
Yeah.
We are having mass cancellations of anything, even sold out pieces. People are just not paying for their shit. So even if you take a deposit, you're just getting annihilated with that upfront cost.
Right.
So like, that's probably what happened with Moon Knight. Dude, Ahsoka is sold out at Sideshow, and I'm sitting on a ton of deluxe.
Right.
And I was sold out during the whole pre-order window. I was sold out. And then everyone canceled. And it's still waitlisted at Sideshow. So, the demand is really funky right now.
Yep. Yeah, but I think it gets it higher when you say, "Oh, there's only 1,000 of them in the United States."
The second you throw the term exclusive and a
Yeah.
number, they're like, "Oh,"
it's like I will buy it.
It still may actually be very limited. I don't want to be
Right.
pessimistic. I'm not shitting on anyone that went for it, but I think it's important to think about like 3,000 units. Well, how many Morbius do you think sold?
Right, like 50?
I got my pre-order in. I do know that.
Right.
Did you, Kiko?
Because you think
Of course I did.
awesome. And it did look awesome. But how many people do you think thought the same way?
Not many. 40, 50 people.
50 people, right?
Yeah. There's probably 75 Morbiuses in existence. Yeah.
Man, I thought Mysterio's Iron Man illusion was the coolest Iron Man variant art figure I'd ever seen in my life. It is one of the worst selling pieces we've ever had. And I still think it's one of the coolest fucking figures. I own one. I don't even collect Hot Toys, and I own one. I think it looks so cool.
But have you seen that Venomized Iron Man? That's the real one.
Oh,
which one?
Venomized Iron Man.
Oh, I think they're amazing. Well,
that's super cool.
Crab claw. I mean,
that's super cool.
He does have a crab claw.
That is the only thing that bothered me. But from an art standpoint, I thought it was sick.
Yeah.
And people just are sleeping on them.
Yeah.
I got mine.
I think it's going to be like the Dark Side of Anakin. The second it sells out when no one wanted it, it's going to be worth like $6.
Because it's artist inspired at that point. You know?
Yeah, the art, or if the artist dies, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. I mean, I'm excited to see the Spider-Man figure and what it turns into for people, but we'll see. Hopefully you got one if you wanted one. That said, guys, we're going to move on to our next topic, and InArt. We got to talk about this. Keco is, I think, just chomping at the bit to talk about this one because, Keco's Afro Joker, he's probably not thrilled with that. But we have there's a couple things I want to share. So InArt shared a photo of their Superman that they're going to be showing at an upcoming con. It looks like in about a week on July 28th. So this is the video that they put out there of this BVS Henry Cavill Superman. A collector went ahead and posted on one of the groups and posted a side-by-side of the Hot Toys and the InArt. Not a super high-res photo, but at least gives you a general idea as to how this looks. What I commented on the InArt video, and I do stand by this, I do think this prototype is not looking too hot. However, neither did the Aragorn, if you remember when it first was announced, and then InArt went back to the drawing board and made it look as, I think that might be the best head sculpt I've ever seen. So that head sculpt is incredible. This Superman, I'm not crazy about. Keco. I've started to catalog the InArt announcements, release schedule, everything, just like I do with Hot Toys. Obviously, it didn't take me too long to do that, but I will say with this InArt Henry Cavill, I'm not this head sculpt looks kind of, I don't know how I want to describe it, like a really good sort of almost custom or really good third-party head sculpt, but it doesn't to me look high-end. What do you think?
I tell you what, the designers at Star Ace, when they got their job at InArt, really lucked out. Dude, is it bad? No. Just being honest. Is it bad? No. Is it InArt quality? It certainly as hell better not be, because you can look at that and tell who it is, but you also can't tell who it is because there's just something off. And I've even saw a side-by-side like of Henry as well as this, and it's closer when you're looking side by side than you realize. And I kept trying to go back and forth to see like, what is it? And I still can't tell what it is about it. It's almost like he looks scared. He doesn't look like he's very if you go back to that Hot Toys picture, it looks commanding, like I'm here to fuck you up type of thing because I'm Superman. Right. That one looks like, hey, I'm here to fight Zod. Don't hit me though. He looks scared. Some along those lines. But here's my thing about InArt. Is it good enough? No, it's not good enough. And I know so many people are tired of me bashing it. And I bashed Hot Toys earlier on in the show. Okay. It's not like I'm sitting there just continually looking for stuff to cry about, but you got to improve. And for all those people that said they've only released one figure, cut them some slack. Yeah, I know. So they're like, well, Jill, don't worry. If I would much rather have 3 perfect releases a year than 50 terrible things that Hot Toys pisses out. Do you really? I mean, who even knows when this will be coming out? And they're like, well, we got 2 to 3 years for them to get this right. Do you realize that we'll have seen a new on-screen Superman by that time? Will you even care about this? I mean, it's it's so frustrating to me because everyone's like, okay, well, InArt's a startup company. No, it's not. It's part of Queen Studios. I mean, they have been around. Okay, it's not like they're just in mom's basement trying to put these things out. You cannot hype yourself as the new, we're putting the heat to Hot Toys. You wouldn't be getting this new Anakin if it wasn't for InArt doing what they do. So you better be thankful, and count your blessings that InArt is putting the fire under Hot Toys' ass. Okay, but as I said, if they don't put anything out, each day that ticks by, I feel they lose interest, people lose credibility, and you lose money at the end of the day because they could release the Michael Jackson and Daenerys. I know we're talking about Superman right now, and I still would be like, oh, talk to me in 5 years because that's what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love to hear your thoughts as always, Keco. Man, for me, I am hopeful they're going to pick this one up. This is not going to be a figure I'm going to pre-order no matter how good it looks. I mean, I like Superman. I don't love Superman. And people have to remember, this looks like the sculpted version to me, but with the rooted version, that's probably going to be $450 to $500 for that, right? So if not, maybe even more than that. So this is something you got to factor in. This looks like a sculpted version. Maybe it's $400 or $375 or whatever the case may be. But I'm not overly, I think the suit looks good. The cape generally looks good from what I can see of it. Can't see all of it, obviously, but the head sculpt, you're right. He doesn't quite have, I think it's almost like something with the paint apps, the expression. I don't know. Something's off, right? But I think it can be fixed. Josh, is this InArt Superman good enough for what they're going to be charging for it and what the market is like right now?
No, I don't. And I'm not shitting on InArt. I actually think they do put out amazing stuff. But I feel like with this, specifically this one, if you're going to charge double a Hot Toys figure and then claim it's like the best of the best, like I look at this head sculpt and while it facial structure wise, it does look better. I really do think it looks better. But when I look at this figure, I feel like there's not enough. What's off for me is there's no life in the face. This is clearly a toy model. This is clearly a model. It looks great, but it's a model. And I don't have an answer to how to make it look more like life, like put life into it, right? I don't know if it's the eyes. I don't know if it's maybe like it needs to be a better mouth expression. I don't know. But I feel like it's like, that's the word. It's missing life. And no matter what way you pose this figure, it's going to look like a Las Vegas wax model in like a wax museum.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that will make this look exciting in any pose, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem for me. Like you're going to have a posable, expensive figure. It needs to look good in any way you pose it.
Right. Yeah, because the Hot Toys, like Keco said, does have personality, Josh. But the InArt one is objectively, I think, a better head sculpt with better paint apps, it looks like to me. The lighting's obviously different in these photos too. But, I think the Hot Toys one, it just has more personality. Like you see the brows are a little bit more stern. Like you can see it has more.
It looks like he's about to fuck your shit up.
Yeah, exactly. So InArt needs to change something like that. I don't know, because it just looks basic right now.
But do you think this is an iconic 1/6 artistic piece, as someone said in the comments?
It looks amazing, but it also could just be lighting, like really good lighting.
Yeah. InArt does light and photograph their photos pretty well, as do Hot Toys. But I don't think the Superman I think it's a collector photo, the Hot Toys one. I don't think it's like
it's not going to compare.
Right. It's not a promo photo. So, but I will say I do think InArt is going to win as far as the likeness is concerned. But, with the Aragorn, when they originally showed that, like I mentioned, I thought the Aragorn was like pretty solid, pretty good. And then they put out the update and I was like, okay, that's way better. And I think that's what they're going to do here. I think they're going to update. They even updated Batman Pattinson and it got better on the update too.
But I'm just getting so tired of us not having anything to compare it to other than the damn Joker. I'm so sick of that. Like, when can we at least have something to say, okay, they've hit 3 in a row now, can they keep this going? I'm just tired of hearing myself talk, at this point, because it's the same thing over and over.
Right.
The reveals are getting old, man.
Yeah. It's true, but I do think we're going to see Gandalf and Pennywise sometime soon. I think Gandalf will happen probably next month or September. So I think he's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Keco. You know this. I'm with you. I love InArt, and I've been one of their biggest.
At that rate, it's one a year then. Because like if it's going near September, because Joker came out early November, December, that's one a year. That's not sustainable, man.
No, it's not. I mean, because I started cataloging the numbers and the results and everything. I think the Joker was announced March 22nd, 23rd of 2022. So it's been almost a year and a half, and we've had one release in a year and a half. And I get that was our first figure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I'm really trying to mute myself so I don't interrupt.
No, go ahead, dude. What's up?
Do you know how many Hot Toys have released in the past month?
Dude, I know
Like
how many in the
30?
past 6 months.
Yeah, like 16 or something.
Yeah, well, it's like almost
absurd.
50, almost 50 in the past 6 months or 7 months. Yeah,
I actually kind of feel bad for collectors
because of how many invoices they're
it's
getting.
been really rough, dude. It's rough for everybody. Like see, like it's one thing to be like really excited for a release. It's another to get hit by 8 pre-orders at once.
Right. Well, that's why, dude, pre-ordering, you just got to be super selective, man, because
you have the funds ready.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why, like, Josh, with the pre-orders I have with you, what I'll do is I'll pay you the NRD and then I'll set that money aside in a separate account. So then when you invoice me, I have the money. So that's basically paid off.
I'm working on a custom payment plan because I'm finally learning like, oh shit, with all these releases, like I get why people want payment plans now.
Right.
But I never expected that. So I'm actually working on a custom payment plan option to start at pre-order.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I want it.
Well, because if you could do 5, 6, 7 payments on a hot toy or something, that would just help people.
It would work based on like the estimated release days. So you'd have like 2 years, and then if you pre-order it within 6 months, it'll be 6 months. And we want to do something. Like we're still gonna have a firm and afterpay, but like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a 2 year in advance?
Right. Yeah, that would be dope. Well, guys, let us know in the comments below. I mean, the poll right now we're running is pretty one-sided. 75% are saying it's not good enough. 25% are saying it is. I think they're going to update it. I think they just they rushed something out there, which is, I think,
if that is rushing, they are taking their damn time.
They have to.
Bro. Yeah, that's true. Well, guys, let's talk about something else here because we got a Hot Toys reissue release, and it's the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And there's just a lot of rumors floating around about this piece, about the license. And I heard about, I don't know if it was it SRH Figure Arts or someone else was making one. Supposedly they couldn't get the likeness to Andrew Garfield. So the prevailing rumor out there, maybe Josh can speak to this, is that Andrew Garfield did not want to give away his likeness, which is why this one is labeled Amazing Spider-Man. And the head sculpt is exactly the same as the previous one. The suit even looks very similar to the previous one. A lot of people have been disappointed at this figure and the quality of it, but Hot Toys clearly wanted to put an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man out there. However, it just didn't quite come out as good as it looks dated, right? Let's just say for a 2023 figure. Keco, I'll start with you. Whose fault is this for what went wrong here? What do you think?
It's the collector's fault for expecting too much, honestly, because this is not Andrew Garfield's fault. Because if he doesn't want to give his likenesses away, that is on his decision. Who cares? That's up to him. This is not on Hot Toys' fault because they are a business at the end of the day, and they're saying, "Damn, we had a movie with 3 Spider-Man, and we have to put out a Spider-Man. What are we going to do? What legal loophole can we do to where we can still put this out?" So they did what they could without having to send it back for licensure approval. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't understand some of the business side of these things. I'm just telling you objectively what I think happened, and that's kind of it. What can we do? What changes can we make to where we don't have to resubmit this thing? To where you got a new box, but with the same logo, Amazing Spider-Man. To where you got the same head sculpt, just a little bit updated paint. Same suit, different body, but same hands, different things like that. And then what they wanted to include with it, the lizard base, which is fantastic. And the accessory for Andrew comes with the lizard piece. So we all know that it was going to come together if they would have gotten everything the way they wanted it to, but it didn't happen. But what it shows me is that this proves why you need to stop holding your breath for a new Han Solo or a young Indy. Because if it comes down to a licensure thing, and if Andrew Garfield ain't giving it up, I think everyone at Hot Toys said, "Hey, we have to put out a Spider-Man. What are we going to do? Here we go." They don't have to put out a new Han because they're not going to half-ass and put a 10-year-old figure out of Han Solo and call it the best, because Harrison Ford, for some reason, is not giving his likeness away. I don't know that, but there's a reason why. And I think this is why, because there's no need to put out another Han Solo at this point. We would love it. We want it. But if they're not having to resubmit a licensure for it, you're going to get old Indy based off the Force Awakens look, which we've already talked about. They figured that out. And that's that. So if you want to blame anybody, blame collectors for having too unrealistic expectations.
That's an interesting take, dude. But I like where your mind's at on that one, because that is what they advertised. It is what they advertise. And I will say, I remember this, it kind of like Josh kind of calling it way back. I remember I've been wrong, I'm sure, on many occasions, but I do remember when this figure was originally announced, I was like, this looks very similar to the old head sculpt. If anything, I feel like the old head sculpt might even be slightly better. They looked so similar that I could almost, it was a negligible difference between the two. And everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone was like, no way, the new one's way better. And I was like, and they're like, they're going to update it and make it better. And I was like, I'm not so convinced of that. The fact that they labeled it the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the fact that it looked like the exact same head sculpt to me. I was like, well, maybe they update it, maybe they don't. I don't know. But I thought the head sculpt wasn't even that great then. And I think this is something too that we've talked about. You have to maybe get in the mindset of don't expect them to improve the head sculpt. If they do, be pleasantly surprised, but don't expect it, because then you're going to get your hopes up. We all do it, but it does happen too frequent. Josh, whose fault is this? What went wrong here?
Well, I think it's pretty simple to figure out, because who the fuck puts a web in a Spider-Man's hand against a white background? I mean,
that is true.
Marketing fail. I mean,
that's
look at that.
A very valid concern there. Yeah.
No, this is Andy Garfield. So, I mean, they're good on the licensing with that. You know, I think it's just one of those things where, you know, Keco hit the nail on the head. You know, they have the license. They kind of have the licensing, right, and they're going to lose whatever they did have for Andrew Garfield. So they're going to attach the same damn head sculpt. They'll maybe paint it a different way, and they'll call it a brand new piece. You know, the suit looks great. The figure itself looks great, but it's just like, there's not much to add. Keco hit the nail on the head. I mean, collectors have way too high of like expectations to like literally just expect stuff, and not every actor wants to be a figure. And it doesn't matter who owns the licensing rights. It's just, you're not always going to get what you want. And Hot Toys found a way to kind of make everyone happy, but it's just, it's not a really good place to be.
No, it's not, dude. And that's the thing. I think long-term people will be happy just to have an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in their trio. Because most people, you're probably not going to use the head sculpt. I would assume you're probably going to put all three Spider-Man fighting and swinging and doing whatever. And it'll still look decent, but this one will definitely look a little more dated compared to integrated suit and, of course, the new Toby. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a big miss. I don't know. It could be licensing. It could be Hot Toys. I really don't think this is a matter of Hot Toys is being lazy and they half-assed this. I don't think it's that.
Because they knocked the box out of the park. If you looked at the box art, people don't really care about that. It was beautiful. The box art is great. And they had every intention of this all coming together. Because,
window cut.
Yeah, the window. I mean, that looks sick. I love that.
That does.
But, you know, they tried on that. And when even they put the brown shipper when they released it, they had it all in one box. So they planned on it being together. So they just couldn't get around some of the legalities, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about this Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, as Josh put it. That's, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of what it is. So I guess we're going to see how that turns out. Andrew Garfield. Guys, let's talk about something. I don't even know how much time we'll spend on this one, but Hot Toys Classic Loki has been released. Honestly, I think I would assume we're all probably going to be in agreement. It looks great, but does anyone really care? And Keco, I have to ask you, as the biggest Loki guy maybe on the planet, even I am not even really excited about this Classic Loki. Does it look great? Sure. Did I love the Loki show? Yeah, I thought it was great, but it's just, this figure is honestly, and I thought this with the So-So too, it's a little bit creepy, honestly. Like, look at the head sculpt. It's amazing as a head sculpt, but you put this on your shelf, people are gonna be like, what the fuck is this? You have this in MODOK, right? And then people are gonna be like, yeah, I'm not coming back here. Keco, do we have too many Lokis right now? Is that what's going on?
Yes, there certainly is. I actually did a funny reel about this yesterday about my Loki collection, essentially. And this is one that is not going in there. For one, I just think it looks too silly. I told you I did not enjoy Loki season 1. I felt like it really missed, unfortunately. But you can't deny the head sculpts on all 4 of those figures are stunning. They are incredible. But it's not like life-changing pieces to have in your display by any means. I don't have much more to say about it. That's it. Yeah. There's just too many. And for You have businessman Tom Hiddleston from Kong Skull Island. You have Sylvie, which is pretty cool. And you have the President Loki, which people's going to steal the head sculpt and just put on Endgame. And then you have this other guy in the front, Richard Grant. That's it. But the star of all of these is Miss Minutes and Crocodile Loki. Those are the stars.
That's true. Croaky is pretty cool, bro. So I don't even know if that's his official name, but I like the name. So Josh, as a retailer, as a collector, I mean, everything's kind of sitting to a degree. Is this a Loki that people really care about? What do you think?
No.
I think it's a great figure. Like they got the actor's likeness, they got the character perfect. It's just there was never demand to begin with.
Right.
And that, like it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's awesome. But at the same time, that's kind of like, you have statues. Would you put a Freya statue with your God of War pieces? Or is it just like, well, that's kind of side character and,
if I had more space, I'd consider it, but it wouldn't be like a priority. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And this is not a priority figure.
Right.
It's just kind of how it is. Unfortunately, like it's a perfect example of it doesn't matter how well you execute something for something that has no demand. There's no demand. It's a great figure with no demand.
Right. I'm wondering why they made it at all, but
nobody asked for it. Not a single person. They were like, whoa, we need another figure from the show. What could we do? It's like, we could do a bigger clock. No.
A bigger
why not? I feel like the Mobius would have sold a little bit better than
I think Mobius probably would have done
who doesn't
better
want an Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
yeah. Wow. That would have been a lot better than probably classic Loki. But because I mean, it's so different really than Loki in a suit. If you have Mobius, and then if you have Wenwu in suit, still,
well, look at the vote. There's a perfect example. The audience has spoken.
Yeah, 95%.
I mean, the colors are great. No. I won't lie. The colors are cool. It'll pop on a shelf. But damn, if it's not just like,
its resale value will be incredible once it sells out.
Well, because they made like 200 maybe. So
they made maybe 55.
Right.
And they're going to be worth a fortune.
Yeah, it's true, bro. All right, well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'm so sorry. There's a couple super chats that I need to get to. I'm so sorry for that. Malin makes it a little more difficult than StreamYard because StreamYard, you can save the comment and then you can just go back and be like, oh, yeah, there were super chats. My bad. Batman Collectibles, so sorry, bro. Thank you so much. So I'm late. I wanted to order that 89 Batman Blitzway statue. Comic Concept show is no longer available to order. Do you have a chance for more stock or show like elsewhere? I think, Josh, you answered this for me. Right?
I got you. Yeah. Anything you need. If you ever see anything sold out at our store, like, just hit me up. As long as it's not like a 10-year-old piece, like, hit me up. I'll even like talk to other collectors and like see if I can find you it from other people. But like this one, I got you. Hit me up. I'll get it for you.
Nice. See, that's why Josh is the man.
Yeah.
There you go. Josh is making dreams come true. So we got another super chat. Better Than Evil will show my birthday. LFG, dude. Thanks so much, bro. Happy birthday to you, man. Happy birthday. Enjoy the birthday weekend. Make it a birthday week, bro. Hopefully you had a good week and just it'll be an even better birthday weekend. But thank you so much for the super chat. That means a lot. Guys, we have one more topic for this fine show. And we got to talk about going back to, we don't need the wigs again. So we'll be fine. We don't need to go back to the wigs. Yeah, I know. We don't need to go back to it. We can always show it as proof that we had it. But the Hot Toys premium line, supposedly they said they're going to be making Star Wars Legends in this backstage format. Keco, the wig's looking better than ever, bro. Backstage format. And I don't know if it's going to extend beyond Star Wars. Maybe they, you know what they might do? It's going to piss everyone. What would be cool to piss everyone off? They remake Battle Damage Mark 85 Iron Man with rooted hair. And that's going to be like, dude, I paid for this skull. That's going to happen at some point, inevitability. But it's like Thanos. It's inevitable. He's inevitable, right? But Keco, what else do you want to see from the premium line? Whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, do you want them to just tackle like the big ones, Luke, Anakin, maybe Leia, Han, if they can get the license? But what do you think? What do you expect to see?
You need to define what premium is. If it's this, you can't do that for everything because think about some of the most iconic characters. They don't all have full heads of hair. I mean, Darth Vader is one of the most iconic characters of all time, and putting rooted hair on him would not do anything. So what could you do to make it premium?
I would say real leather.
Real leather, sure. But you need to define what that is. Is that, I know we were chatting about like what when InArt was the big thing back in the day, we were like, what new improvements could they really do? Could you somehow make some type of magnetic base that like almost, we already have the USB powered thing, but is there a way to charge a figure essentially through a base to where it stays on all the time? You know, something like that. We need something really groundbreaking development wise for it to be just premium. I don't think real leather means that much to me. Honestly, everyone's like, well, you don't want your stuff degrading. That's fine. I understand. But like, I don't want to pay an extra $150 for a figure to last an extra 2 years. You know, I mean, that's just it for me. But I would want to know what it actually is. But if you are going to go this route, I think there's a lot of Thors out there that really could use this treatment to the hair. I think you could do a really good job on that. And I think if you are going to do the premium line, they have to be tent pole type main people on the line. Like you would have to do a Luke Skywalker. That's essentially it, like Farm Boy Luke or whatever. Not we're done with all, and it has to be something that's not readily available for you to replace, essentially, because the Farm Boy Luke has been long in the tooth. All right, the Leias have been long in the tooth, at least the white buns Leia. I'm just trying to think of any other like line or whatever that you could do that would be premium without it being like full leather. So at this point, I don't know. I don't want any more die-cast Iron Man. We've done enough of those. We don't need any rooted Tony hairs with goatees, things like that. I don't know. I'm at a little bit of a loss, and I'm never at a loss for words.
Dude, I actually would kind of like that. I would kind of want to see an RDJ with rooted hair and, you know, a goatee and all that. And could they do it better? I think if they really put their might, Hot Toys might behind Iron Man, put all the R&D behind it, I think they could make something pretty special. But I don't know. I would like to see, you know, because like older figures, maybe it doesn't have a massive head of hair, but like the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan, like redo that head sculpt, maybe put rooted hair on him, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Finally doing Ewan McGregor head sculpt right. I still don't feel like they've really nailed Ewan McGregor, right? Maybe they could do that. You know, you wouldn't do Darth Maul rooted, obviously, but you know,
give me an episode 1 premium line Kenobi with hair and the braid. That would be cool because we still don't have one yet.
They could do that.
That would be a great one.
Or maybe a Qui-Gon, they go rooted hair at some point. Redo the head sculpt, you know, make rooted hair. Like,
but you can't just limit it to people that have long hair. You know, I mean,
right? Exactly.
I don't know. Please define what premium means, and then we'll talk.
Right. That makes sense. Well, Josh, what do you think? I mean, is there anything you want to see from the premium line for Hot Toys? Should they go this route with the backstage label?
Yeah, I think they absolutely should. But like for me, like as a collector, talk about someone who doesn't buy Hot Toys, you know, what would pull me in is seeing them go back to older figures and just like utterly detail them out. Like, can you imagine like a Davy Jones in an updated format?
Now we're talking.
Right? So like if you want to talk premium, fine, whatever. I don't want to see another fucking Anakin. I'm sick of seeing Star Wars for every release, or Marvel or DC. Like, hit something that you did back in the day that was awesome and just is gone. And it probably wouldn't be too hard to get the licensing again. Like,
here comes your battle damage Terminator, Will.
Well, battle damage Terminator.
Like if you want to go premium, do something new. Don't keep hitting. I understand the licensing is expensive, but like, hit other licenses that really haven't been touched. I would collect a whole goddamn Pirates of the Caribbean line. If we
need a Barbosa,
like,
man.
I've been
saying
Davy Jones with like the tentacles with like the slime looking super realistic, and all
I'd actually be in on that.
Jack Sparrow, honestly, all those figures were really good, but I love my what is it? Deadman's
the Deadman on the tails.
And with the shark, love that piece. But like just any of that. Lord of the Rings would be sick. But there's already so many, so it's kind of like, what's the point?
Right.
I'd love to see them hit different lines. Like if they did like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, holy
that would
shit.
Be wild.
Like holy shit.
Right.
Like I just wish it would be, you know, it's fine to slap on premium, but like, can we see some original stuff? Because like when I look at something like this, it's like, okay, great. You just devalued like the previous figure to me. Like, great. Okay, you just made the same fucking figure, but put hair in it.
Right.
And it's like premium. No, go get a different license. Go find something that everyone, like, even if it's a 10-year-old figure, like, give me an updated Yondu. Like, do something. It doesn't even have to be the same figure, but like, do something wild with it. and then just add a ton of accessories and facial expressions to it so that I can,
that'd be a good thing.
It's hard because they're a business that wants to keep putting out like variants of the same figure, but like, give me a ridiculous priced end all be all figure for a character.
Right.
That's how I feel. It's like, you don't have to do a main character, but if you're going to release like I said, like Davy Jones, give me an end all be all. Like, this is it. It will not be better than this. And I will fucking give you whatever you ask.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense, dude. I mean, I think they're trying to do that with Anakin and probably Luke and all them. But you're right. It's just there's a lot of Anakins, a lot of Lukes. I mean, those are the characters they're going to target. They're going to do a Darth Vader probably with real leather, and then everyone who bought the pleather ones are going to be like, well, fuck me. But you know, maybe that is the end all be all, real leather Darth Vader. Because like you said, Keco, you can't really. There's no rooted hair, right? You know, it just is what it is. But you know, we're gonna define. I mean, I think InArt defines it as premium materials, die cast, real leather, rooted hair, so forth. I think that's
premium timelines.
Premium timeline. I think that's what Hot Toys is going to go after too. But guys, let us know in the comments below. I mean, right now we have a almost 50-50 of would you pay 400 plus for the Hot Toys premium line, which I don't want to shock people. That is what they're going to be. I mean, that Wonder Woman 100 version was $400. I think, from what I remember, right, Keco on Sideshow. So yeah. I think that you might start to see these prices start to creep up for these premium figures. I think that's what you're going to start to see. But maybe Josh, right? Maybe it's 350. Maybe it's 375. Whatever. That would be great. But I have a feeling they might try to say we're going to make it more exclusive, and you know,
there's that word. There's that word.
It is, bro.
Exclusivity whore.
Exclusivity, bro. Exclusivity. Well, guys, thank you so much.
A ticket for signing up, and then you can pay us extra $100. It was 400, but now it's 500.
That's an exclusive offer right there. Well, guys, thank you so much for this thoughts in the chat. Thank you so much for this amazing panel, for our wonderful thoughts and ideas and engagement and all that good stuff. Guys, let's go around real quick. Mr. Keco Collects. I know we got to get you. We got TikTok in the little scrolly thing here now.
Thanks,
so
man.
We got to get people going on there. But what's coming up, dude?
So we're about to eclipse 6,000 on YouTube. We're approaching the 9,000-ish on Instagram, and I need to get to 1,000 on TikTok so that I can do my lives. Okay, that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Please, people, I know that you are out there subscribing to those LINKs out there with your TikToks. So just go ahead and give me a follow now so that I can do my lives. Please, that's all I need. I just need 700 more. I know it's asking a lot, but I've not been on my TikTok game. But you guys,
you just need 70% more, and
that's
you'll
right.
be totally fine. Bro.
There's 2,000 people that watch this show every week. Will,
yeah,
I know those people are out there. I just need half of you to come on over to TikTok because I know you're already there anyway. Don't lie,
guys. Don't lie. You're watching TikToks. You're doing what the kids are doing, watching all the TikToks and the reels. So go subscribe to Keco. Follow his TikTok. Follow his Instagram, YouTube channel. About hit 6K, dude. That's exciting, man. Super exciting. But thanks for joining as always, man. Being my co-host, my my wingman. Always appreciate
your
it.
Wig man.
I mean, pretty much you were. Both of you were tonight. But Josh, dude, thank you so much for joining, man. First time on the panel, not an interview. Guys, Comic Cons with Josh. Is there anything you want to plug? Any sale you're running, bro? Anything going on?
Buy from me.
That's all you need, bro. Honestly, Comic Concepts.
This was really fun. No, like, yeah, if you guys want to buy from me, that's totally fine. Like, I'm a collector first. This is all a hobby that's kind of blown up into a company, which is pretty sick because people think we're like giant. But the site works for now. We're working on cleaning it up a bit. We sell almost everything you can think of. We sell that's licensed. When you look at Prime One, we're always the cheapest all in from any other retailer in North America. Hot Toys, we break even with a lot of people. Sideshow, always usually the cheapest. And on top of that, everything is a 5% bag loyalty program. So you get points, you're protected. There's replacement part options. There's all that. So, and we even do bonus editions and sometimes exclusives, like things that you can't get at most retailers, we can still have. So, like if you don't want to buy from me, fine. You will eventually. I know you will. And if you do buy from me, I love you and thank you for the support. Seriously. And then once this room is done, we'll be doing a lot more, but it may not be like plugging me, like I really want to get into Twitch streaming and we're going to start a podcast as well. It's going to be a little bit of collectors. We might be bringing in people from the industry, from the studio that you might want to see, which would be pretty cool and get a little insider information, but that'll be separate from Comic Concepts. That's not a plug. That's fun. But yeah, please, guys, just hit me up if you want to chat. And like I said, even if you don't want to buy, like, always hit me up. I'm always happy to chat. I'm a collector too. I have 75 fucking statues in my basement right now waiting to be unboxed. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life.
75, dude.
75. I counted because I had to pack them all.
Dude, moving collectibles.
Miserable.
I know Keco knows this, Josh. When you're moving collectibles, you will reevaluate your life, bro. You will be like,
no,
do I really want to do this?
This sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking sucks.
But I did get a Skull Knight on horseback, which I'm really excited for.
Dude, I think I've seen that piece before.
I get to unpack my Doomslayer from Prime 1. I'm so goddamn excited.
Dude, there's a lot of cool Prime 1 pieces on the website. And I'm looking at the alley, so we'll chat. But, we'll see. But yeah, man. Guys, check out Comic Concepts. Amazing store. It's a great place to shop. So yeah, Hot Toys, Prime 1, everything in between. Infinity Studios, they actually have too. So if you're looking for that Witch King, that looked amazing, by the way.
It looks so good.
Dude, I'm upset, man, Josh, because it's about 3 inches too wide for my cases, but it's
Dude,
fine.
I'll help you with the Magicase. Oh yeah, we're also a certified partner of Magicase.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Everything you see on the site, we're a certified partner. Everything. And we got the closed mouth limited predator jungle hunter predator. So you remember that thing that's waitlist full at Prime 1? Guess what? We have that too.
Really? Is that the one that's like $3,000?
No. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I pumped it up because the waitlist is full at Prime 1, but it was 900 at Prime 1. It's 1,100 with us, but we're importing it, right? So everything you see, you're not paying overseas shipping. So like it's practically retail.
Okay.
It's practically retail because you're going to spend $150, $200 to ship it in otherwise.
Dude. Probably
like,
more than that. Probably more.
Well, we pay to bring it all over, and then I only charge shipping from the U.S. warehouse.
Right.
So, like, everyone who bought the Justice Buster from us saved like $700.
Dude.
It's absurd.
Dude, Prime 1 shipping is insane.
It's absurd, which is why people have been coming to us for Prime 1, which, I'm very grateful, but like, yeah, like
that's what I told you, bro. I was just testing it. I went on Prime 1's website and I have Balder already, obviously. I plugged in Balder's to see. They wanted $700 to ship it.
Yeah, I encourage anyone to go to Comic Concepts and compare the prices. Like, just do it. I'm not gonna. I like actions to speak a whole lot louder.
Right. Because the only thing, Josh, I remember I always, let people know is the replacements. You always get people the replacements, but they do take a while for Prime 1.
They take a long time.
Like 6 to 9 months. Yeah.
Infinity and Prime 1 can take like 6 months to get replacements, but they will always come in.
Yeah, you've never not gotten.
Hot Toys are very quick. That's like 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. I know you said like you've never not gotten someone a replacement part.
Correct. I literally just got there was a customer I had, like the Batcave Hush took forever. A Broken Cape came in. It finally came in, and I wish I had more control over it, but he was stoked. And he got to keep the old cape. So the nice thing is the parts that you get replaced, do something custom with it. I'm not going to take them back from you or make you destroy them.
Right.
Like
Prime 1 will do that. They'll make you destroy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the perk from me, I already paid for all that shit. Keep it. Enjoy. Do something custom.
Yeah.
Sorry for the wait.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this fine Friday evening. Hope you guys have a great weekend. For everyone out there, if it is your birthday weekend, happy birthday to you. Like the super chat that we got, and be safe. Live a very plentiful existence. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.